Let me know if you can hear me. Who is Ryadox? Is that one of you guys? Or is that somebody else? Is that a Twitch person? I guess it's obviously not a Twitch person, given that replied with Notica thumbs, but hello, Twitch person who happens to just coincidentally use Notica thumbs routinely in unrelated chats. So I don't know who here watched the last stream, where I did a very haphazard mission to this asteroid with barely any fuel and potentially screwed it up. But then at the very end of the last stream, I found out that with some clever maneuvering, I can actually get this thing home and not have to redo the entire mission. But it's very, very dicey. So, that's what we're going to do. So, I launched this thing into orbit with a Starship that I left in orbit of Kerbin, which is... oh, slaggy fucking map. I gotta figure out what's doing that, because it's real rough. So it's right here. So that thing had just enough fuel to deorbit and land on Kerbin, but it didn't have enough to do anything beyond that. So I sent a tanker up to refuel it. So it's got like half a load of fuel right now. So the goal is to take this. I'm next to this asteroid over on a very far away trajectory that I used a ton of fuel to get to really quickly. And then this asteroid is going to pass by Kerbin over here. So the goal is to ride with the asteroid to here, and then once I'm right next to, once I'm doing a flyby of Kerbin, use my tiny bit of remaining fuel to try to slow myself down enough that the Starship can then go grab this ship and haul it home. So that's the hope. It's doable, it's just going to be very messy along the process. Am I targeting this properly? Now I am. Okay, so yeah, there's really no way to make this not messy. So the goal is to find a trajectory from this asteroid that will put me on as low of an orbit of Kerbin as possible, but potentially without, hopefully without going in the atmosphere, because this ship has solar panels that don't retract, which was something I specifically aimed to do to make sure that I had retracting solar panels, and they didn't. So, it's a problem. But I'm gonna, because this mission went way faster than I expected it to, I'm going to dump some of my life support supplies, because I packed a ton. I packed like 2 years worth, and the mission's gonna take like 3 months, so I don't think I need that much. So by dumping that, I get a little bit more bang for my buck in terms of how much fuel I have, because less weight to push around means greater fuel efficiency. Let's see. 25% is probably enough. Also, but I forgot to put a probe core on this asteroid intercept ship, so I have to make sure my Kerbals have enough supplies, because they will mutiny if they don't have enough, which I found out last time. You gotta be careful when you dump your supplies, because if you dump too much, they just don't like that very much. If I had a probe core, then I could just say, fuck them. You'll go hungry for a few weeks, and then the computer will drive it home, but I forgot that. So currently this is the flyby. I'm just, if I hang out with this asteroid, I will fly by like this, which is not a super useful orbit. So I need to haul this thing up here. My green minions can suck a dick for all I care. I need them to fly. Fortunately, because I'm so far from the planet, even relatively, the tiny bit of fuel I have actually goes a pretty long way. Let's see. I want to get this as low as possible, but if I can get away with not... Because I could enter the atmosphere and use the atmosphere to brake, but because I have so little fuel, that's really not ideal. Or that because my ship is, has non-retracting solar panels, and because there's a good risk that something could go wrong, I want to avoid that if possible. That might not be possible, and I might have to get, just get this thing in a trajectory that will get close enough. No, that's where this ship is right now. This ship is... I already launched out to intercept this asteroid, so I'm hanging out next to the asteroid, and I've matched its trajectory. So now I'm coming back, and this is the trajectory I'm currently on. If I do nothing, I will follow that and do like a barely do a great flyby of the edge of Kerbin's sphere of influence. But I don't want a bare flyby. I want to get as close as possible so that the starship that's already in orbit can intercept and pick me up. Which that on its by itself is already going to be a nightmare. But ideally, if I'm careful, I can make this work. Okay, so that'll get me very close to Kerbin, and then when I'm right next to Kerbin, if I do another maneuver, how much extra fuel do I need? That's way too much. So I'm probably going to have to aero brake. Although... Why are you not moving? What's going on here? That's weird. If I use just enough fuel to get me into Kerbin's sphere of influence, the Starship's got a decent amount of delta V, and it can re-enter from pretty high altitude. So it might be messy, but I think I can do it as long as the... So that's only... Okay, so let's plan on this, and let's just do that first burn now. Actually, wait, I gotta wait for a while to... Gotta wait 13 days before I can do that burn. So this is what I'm in right now. Just this dinky little thing. It's actually relatively large. Like, if I EVA one of these... Where's my pilot? It's actually a pretty big fucking ship. This is the crew section. This is just life support supplies, and then this is all fuel down here. But if we do this, and then time warp forward, bye asteroid, you're going to drift away from me slowly. There is a comet over here, and where's Kerbin? I have no idea where Kerbin is. It might be so close that it's not glowing. There's one mod that adds these little glowing dots for where the planets are, but I'm so close to Kerbin it might not be showing up. Oh, no, it's right here apparently. Minmus is showing up, one of Kerbin's moons, but not Kerbin itself. Okay. So we gotta be... Wait, what? Oh, shit. Knew that was gonna happen. I didn't know it was gonna happen. If I knew it was gonna happen, I would have avoided it, but... I was still controlling the ship from my little claw, which is not ideal. Oh, white. Okay, let's look at Kerbin again. Oh god, I gotta figure out why that map loads so slow. It's a real pain. Ooh, that is way too inclined. Can I check my relative inclination here? Right now my periapsis is at 72 kilometers, and 70 is where the atmosphere starts, so I definitely don't want to go more than that. But the lower, because my Starship should be at pretty much zero inclination, so the closer to zero I can get, the easier the rendezvous is going to be to pick me up. That's not right. Okay. I don't know what's... My display stuff is not showing me the right rendezvous or the right intercept thing. Just gonna have to eyeball it. Ooh, I'm on a weird... Because now I'm not inclined this, like, diagonal this way, but I am coming in at a bit of an angle, so no matter what, I'm gonna have some inclination. But there's not a ton I can do about that. Let's just try to get it as even on this axis as possible. That looks about even. I'm still above the atmosphere, so we should be able to just warp forward. I'm going to save anyway. That's not the save button. Going to save anyway. And then we will time warp. Another 47 days. So I slowly drift towards the planet. Flying right by that comet. Here's Kerbin coming up on the side here. Alright, there's Kerbin. I am now... Wait, where? There I am. Okay, so I'm in Kerbin's sphere of influence, which is good. So I think the goal here is just going to be to get down to the periapsis and then burn retrograde a tiny bit, just so that I know I'm in Kerbin's orbit. Actually, how much fuel? I should just burn all the fuel I have, basically, because that'll get me as close as humanly possible. Although, I might want to save a little tiny bit for docking. Yeah, just to be safe, let's save a little bit for docking. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's just aim for that. How's my life support doing? I still have several months worth. I could have dumped even more. In fact, I might do a little bit more right now. Let's go down to 8%. That's still 2 months. This should take no more than a week or two, but better safe than sorry, I guess. Let's quick save again, because I'm super paranoid. And warp down to periapsis. Actually, I'll warp a little bit before. Let me know if the stream is getting jittery, because my OBS just gave me a warning for some reason. Not sure why. Whoa, there we go. I'll probably bring this claw in. Hello, Steve the Heathen. I like rockets too. I am trying to return this extremely hasty, poorly thought out mission from a asteroid to Kerbin without everyone dying. Which, judging by how poorly planned it was, it shouldn't have worked, but I'm pretty sure I can make it work. It's going to involve having to manually break off these solar panels, but whatever, we can handle that. Just getting down to periapsis so I can get into a very eccentric orbit. I do not have an engineer, so no... I don't. Can you use orbit construction at all without an engineer? I'd assume not. I can't just close them. I explicitly, when planning this, I was talking about how I wanted to make sure I had panels that could retract, because I knew I was going to need to dock again and get back in the cargo bay of my Starship. But somehow, even though I was explicitly looking for that, I managed to find a pair of panels that didn't retract. So we're going to have to just snap them off. But that's fine. As long as I can keep them on the ship until I need to dock, that's fine. So we are now on a very high, slightly inclined orbit, but that should be fine. So now you guys are good for a while. I still got 80 meters. How much? I don't know if it's probably not worth it to drop my apoapsis more. Actually, yeah, I'm within the moon's orbit. That should be plenty of or I should be able to handle that no problem with my Starship. Although getting this rendezvous might be a pain, but we'll find out. Alright, so we got this big guy over here. And we just need to rendezvous with this guy. So, if just at the apoapsis, if I just burn prograde, what's going to happen? This I'm not too worried about, because I have so much fuel on this thing, it should not be a major issue. Am I controlling from the right point? I think so. This prograde marker is going up very slowly, though. I might need to do this a little bit later to make sure that my orbit stays underneath the asteroid ships, or maybe not. That's weird. Okay, this actually gets me closer. This is definitely not the most efficient way to rendezvous, but with an orbit like this, there's not much hope for an efficient rendezvous. If I just match the orbit more, or match the apoapsis, I wonder... because this will put me way behind the asteroid ship. But if I make my apoapsis lower, I'll get to it faster, and then if I down here, because I'm going to need to then boost this up. In theory. Wait. These two orange things are what I'm looking at. I need to make them as close as possible, and that'll effectively mean that I got an intercept, which... there we go. It's 90 kilometers. 85. I've got over 2,000. I've got 2,300 in this ship, and I need like 100 to deorbit, so I'm not worried about the Delta V right now. So this will get me close, and then I can... I mean, with that inclination, it's still gonna be a pain, but I can fix that. That shouldn't be too bad. These intersect numbers are fucking worthless. I'm not... that intersect is not 1.2 million miles. It's... or million meters. It's 85 kilometers. So I'll just aim for that. I'll match orbits, and then I'll just sort of judge from there. So wait, how much is my second burns Delta V? Second one's only 13, so yeah, that's... that I can manage. Okay. So we're in 16 minutes. What? Oh, right. It's on the next orbit. Why are these... I hope those RCS aren't actually burning and it's just a graphical thing, because they should not be burning in time warp. So I've got my sea level engines off, which is good. Give me a little bit more efficiency. Not that I really need it right now, but... RCS absolutely should not burn in regular time warp. Only in physics time warp. And of course, got the bug where the engines don't make sounds anymore, which is fun. Always love that. Just gonna do a little bit of time warp here. I love oscillations. I also love it when turning off RCS gives me less oscillations, although now it's flying off course a little bit. That should be close enough. So now I'm in a slightly lower orbit. The ship I'm trying to catch is in a slightly higher orbit, but it's ahead of me. So as I go around the orbit, I should gradually catch up with it, and then on the pass back towards the planet, I should be pretty close, hopefully, in theory. Let's just see if I can't tweak that a little bit. So yeah, the inclination's kind of a pain in the ass. If I do a burn right here, I can probably just... How much is that inclination change going to be? Come on. Why you not letting me? Let me click on the node. Rendezvous. Steve, I am aware of what I'm doing. I might not sound like it, but... Oh man, I get a way sooner intercept if I change... That's weirdly soon. So relative inclination is 2. This is not showing the right numbers. I love KSP's UI. There we go. That gets me down to tenths of a degree of relative inclination, which is great. So let's plan on doing that part. Only 2 meters per second for that. That seems disturbingly low, but I'll take it. Rarely do plane changes cost that little amount of fuel, but... Although now it's changing, so fucking KSP is just a nightmare, and my modded save is a double nightmare. Oh, it changes because when I go in time warp, it thinks I'm pointing a different direction than I am. Yay, KSP. Let's time warp a little bit so I can actually hit my maneuver node without the game physics glitching out. Go. We can time warp to the node. Just do a very slight burn. Oh, I haven't actually... Am I not selected as a target? Oh, whoops. That would have helped. Oh, wait, that's... What was I actually burning? What was I matching inclination with? That was... What the fuck? Okay, I need to go way harder. Anti-normal. I don't know what was going on there, but that definitely was not a 2 meter per second burn. No, I didn't match my own inclination. That's not what the burn relative inclination was. It was burning to something. I assume it was just with the planet. Do I not? Something's wigging out. Why can I not leave map? Oh, there we go. Okay. I can matches. I don't really need to, but hey, might as well be as close as possible. 0.05, I can live with that. So that already gets me a really close intersect. Now, probably just put it at the Apo apps. I can probably just, at this point, basically home and transfer to it. Oh god, what is, this menu's flipping out now too. What the hell? Jesus. Okay, this menu doesn't give me the numbers I need. Just lost the target. Oh. If I could catch it at, you know, in the upper orbit, that means I could come down this same orbit, and that would be extremely handy. So, 4 kilometers to... One, 800 meters. 600, 400, 200, 14 meters. That's probably close enough. That is smaller than the size of both vessels. So let's aim for that. Spin this thing around. The UI here is only similar to Kara Studio in that it sucks. Like the UI and the readouts are fine in theory. It's just that they're really like the way that the maneuver node menu just, if you click on anything wrong, it just disappears and you have to hit the arrow to bring it back is so stupid. Okay, so if I just warp up close to the maneuver node, bye Kerbin. See you soon. Hi Moon. So I already should be getting relatively close. Yeah, it's right there. So I'm already pretty close. But now I'm just going to be tweaking my orbit. So I'm going to be throwing myself into probably a pretty dangerous... I might actually be throwing myself into the... Oh no, okay, it's an upper, higher orbit. But I'm screwing up my orbit. Because right now I'm in a pretty close orbit to the ship I'm trying to intercept. But I'm going to screw up my orbit to get close to it. And then I'll rematch to actually rendezvous and dock and everything. But I need to just time warp to this. I just got a friend request. All right. Quick little burn. And that should be pretty close. What is my actual intercept now? 400 meters, that's fine. If I was a robot who could press buttons more accurately, I could have gotten that down lower, but I think 400 meters is probably enough, considering this ship is like 200 meters long or something. Actually, no, this one's only like 40 or 50. The 11-meter Starship, which is probably going to wind up being a 12-meter one by the time I get it tuned the way I want, is substantially larger. Alright, let's throw a quick save down just to be safe, and then we will get down to just before the intercept. Should be able to see it popping up as a dot any second here. There it is. Alright, 13 kilometers away. So now I will point retrograde relative to my target. Very slowly. Alright, later, Steve the Heathen. Alright, so 5 minutes. Just letting time tick forward a little bit quickly. Now this is my velocity down here that's relative to that ship. It's not relative to, you know, my velocity around the planet or anything. It's just what's the difference in velocity versus the ship. And now it is very close to nothing, essentially. So, the question is, do I use the big ship to dock with the little ship, or do I use the little ship to dock with the big ship? I don't know whose center of mass is worse right now. They're probably both pretty terrible. But let's just aim for... Let's try to move this one first. I left some fuel in it specifically for docking. It'd be a shame to not use that. So let's open all bays. Nope, oh, not close all bays. There we go. You need to open that one. That one's not useful. Let's close that one. Do I have lights on this? Yes, a couple. Little ones. Let's throw another hard save down. Docking. And then let's switch to this ship. Let's target that. Let's point at it. Actually, I should control from here. Control from the actual docking node. So turn back around, because I'm going to be doing this all with thrusters, so I don't need to worry about the engines. So let's push ourselves this way a little bit. Alright, that's 3 meters per second. That's plenty. That gives us an inner collision in 3 minutes. So let's fast forward a little bit. If you're in much lower orbit when you're doing a rendezvous, just the curvature, you know, the fact that you're in an orbit that's curving as you go makes this way more annoying. Because I'm in such a high orbit, it's pretty much just point at it and go. If you're in like an 80-kilometer orbit and you're doing a very slow, like longer distance rendezvous like this, it can be a real, like, you have to be way more cognizant of, you know, orbital prograde markers and stuff to. Otherwise, it'll, you know, if you're both going around the planet at slightly different rates, it'll. And you aim straight at the ship, basically the ship will orbit ahead of you or whatever, and it won't be there when you go for it. So I need to get around to the front of the ship, basically. So let's do this, I guess. Is this the right? I don't know why these ones are firing. I'm just trying to push that way. So the hard part here is that I need to manage to snap off these solar panels. So I think I'm just going to do a nice spinny maneuver and just smack it against the side of the Starship, and that should kill it just fine. And then I need to somehow cram this thing back in there with some very off-center thrust. Just need to not fuck it up. Come on. That way. Basically, right now I'm just trying to cancel out my velocity again so that I'm just sitting, hovering in front of the ship here. Didn't mean to go below it. Burning a lot of fuel right now. Just trying to catch this thing. Or get it where I want it. Why are you wobbling? Stop wobbling. There's literally no reason for you to be wobbling. Why are you wobbling? Starship, I mean. It's like capsizing, even though it's aiming at nothing. It's just trying to hold a steady position with zero interference from anything. The plumes from the rockets can have an effect on other vehicles, but not at this distance. It's like you're hitting a battleship with a BB gun, and the battleship starts tilting in the water. Oh, this is going to be real tight on fuel. Wait, wrong velocity vector. Let's get this pointing the right way. Let's cancel out our... There we go. Okay, let's go up a little bit, assuming white. It's really hard to tell which vector is which here. Where's my big thing? Let's target the docking port. I'm currently... No, don't aim directly at... No, don't do that. Just stability assist right now. I want to go up. This thing is definitely going to run out of fuel. But if I need to, I can use the Starship. I just want to get the solar panels off first. Once I have those off, I can do the rest with the Starship, hopefully. It's just really hard for me to tell which... up. I want to go up. But when I go up, for some reason, these fire off to the side, which is really disorienting. Okay, is the Starship aiming at something weird? No, it's just... Okay. It's because the RCS was on, probably. It means that it's trying to maintain a velocity, but because the RCS is so crazy... Like, the RCS system in this game is not efficient, so it'll just burn huge amounts of fuel for no real reason. So let's just go forward a little bit. So we're over the Starship, and then ideally just spin. Just turn the RCS off and just use the reaction wheels to spin until the solar panels get ripped off against the doors of the Starship. So let's quick save, just, you know, in case this fantastic plan somehow goes wrong. I guess I can close these antennas in the meantime. So that if I recover the ship, I get as much money as possible back. I might need to redesign the bigger Starship to get rid of this. Wait, why is that closed? It's not supposed to be closed. Open that bay. I was gonna say, like, that seemed like a really small opening for this ship, but now it's a little bit easier to get at. But this bottom bay here, the one with the little door, that one I might need to get rid of on the bigger version. Okay. So now let me cancel out my velocity, so I'm just hovering here, hopefully. Hopefully. And then I just need to spin and hope I can snap these things off. Come on. Oh, God. Starship, please. Don't go flying away on me. Okay, there's one. Oh, Jesus. Stabilize. Stabilize. This is how spaceflight is done. I don't like that this thing is still sticking out here. Hopefully that doesn't impede my ability to get in. And I'm almost out of fuel on this stinky little thing. Yep, and I'm out of fuel. Okay. Oh, and my cat's coming right now. This is the bad time. Okay, hang on. Cat, please, pick a direction and go. Don't stand there. Move, please. Hey, 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 hey. You're fine. Just don't stand directly in front of the monitor, please. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Okay. This is how NASA does it, I'm sure. Moving cats and shit. Okay. So these guys are just gonna bump around for a minute. I still need to ram that other solar panel off, but I need to do it with the Starship. Fortunately, this thing has a little bit more mass to throw around, so breaking it shouldn't be too bad. Ramming speed. Come on. Has a lot of mass, but it also has a lot of inertia, so trying to get this thing to move is not always pleasant. Come on. Bash it. Oh, god damn it. That was not hard enough. Okay, if I can just switch this. This thing has no fuel, but it has reaction wheels. So if I can just... So I can't translate anymore, but I can rotate. Oh, jeez. Back to the Starship. Oh, this is going to be a real fucking dance over here. Okay, rotate this out of the way, let the Starship pass, and then we'll just ram it back into it. Hopefully. I think I need a hit on the tip for it to work. Oh god, I'm drifting away now. Spin. Oh, come on. That was a hard hit. Oh, shit. Huh. Okay, well. Fortunately, this thing has a lot of fuel, and I only need a couple hundred meters per second to deorbit myself back onto Kerbin, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm pretty sure my landing fuel is completely... Yeah, it's locked off right now, so this 1400 that I have is not even counting the fuel that I have reserved for landing. Okay, this should... Come on, this better do it. I'm coming in pretty hard here. There we go. Okay. Now, let's just match target speed, or match velocities again, and get this thing back in our cargo bay. Hopefully. This mod is one of the most useful things. It looks like nonsense, and honestly, there's no manual for it, and I can't 100% tell you what everything does, what everything means on it. But once you see it, it's very helpful. I don't know why. Oh god, don't break off my solar panels now. Oh god, please no. Oh god, please no. Don't break off my solar panels. Those are expensive. The ones on here I don't care about. They're small. Right now I'm not trying to get in any orientation. I'm just trying to match velocity. Because then I can point both these ships normal. And that'll make it substantially easier to... Oh, one of these panels did break. God damn it. Okay, well... I'll have to make do without that. Shouldn't matter too much. I don't need that much power, but... They're just expensive panels. I wonder if recovering a broken panel counts as... Because you can repair them in orbit. I don't have the gear for it here, but I wonder if... On a... Like a money recovery metric, if that counts as a recovery or not. Like a half recovery. The part's still attached, it's just busted. Okay, we're pretty close to the same speed now. Let's get this thing in an orientation that's actually easy to grab. So let's go anti-normal. So this is kind of the cheaty, but it also a surefire way to make docking easy. You just put both ships in the same orientation. So here I control from the docking node and I point anti-normal, which means pointing down relative to the plane of the orbit. And then I take the Starship and I control it from that docking node and I point it normal. So it's pointing the opposite direction, and then you just sort of slide them into each other. But that makes it so that you don't have to fuck around with... you get the rotation right at the beginning, and then you just do all of your docking through translation. We'll see if that works here, because this thing's at such a weird angle. I don't know if that's going to actually work, but we'll find out. I also don't know if these like skeletons of solar panels are going to fuck with me, but yeah. Okay, so hopefully that will just maintain that orientation. And now this guy... Try to spin around so I have the sun side facing us. How much time do I actually have in this orbit? It should be several days left, right? Apoapsis is... Or periapsis is... I have 2 hours, so that should be plenty of time. Okay, so let's push down a little bit. We'll slide underneath it, and then we'll try to come up behind it and just scoop it up. In theory. Let's push back a little bit so that we're starting to push backwards. And when we're right underneath it, or when we're a little bit past it, I'll try to just stop completely. And then see what happens. So the C velocity here is the velocity just like docking port face to docking port face, which is actually pretty useful. Whereas this down here is like the total, counting all the different vectors, what the relative velocity is. So if I burn towards it a little bit and down a little bit, put these things pretty much lined up. You can see all the stuff on the docking port indicator is lined up. I need to go down a little bit more because I got to get over that nose. Now it's got to go up a little bit. Let me aim camera here. Give me a little bit better view. Hey, there's one of the solar panels just floating around in there. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of docking. I don't actually know if it can. Alright, so now we are going up towards it very slowly. 0.2 meters per second. So yeah, the problem with doing the normal thing for docking is that in this, because of this weird ship configuration, is that I'm going to need to like pull the ass of the... I just tried to do a hand gesture, even though there's no camera. Move the ass of the ship back a little bit so that I can sort of scoop it into the bay and then twist it back down to actually get it lined up with the docking port inside. So it'd be much easier because, the smaller the vessel, usually the more maneuverable it is with thrusters. So be much better if I was using this, well, sorry, hiccups, this stage to dock, but I'm not, so, you know, make do with what you got. Oh, cat is still being very nosy. He only shows up and walks in front of me specifically when I'm doing something very like focus intensive. He'll never come by when I'm just like idling in the time warp. Please move. Please move. I'll play with you in a little bit. This mission is something I want to get over with so I can do more fun, more interesting missions. And hopefully have some money to do them. Okay. Be very careful. Let me quick save again just because there's a good chance I fuck this up, and I would prefer not to. Okay, so let me slow down here so I don't screw up too bad. And then I need to switch to rotation and pitch down, I think. Let's pitch down just a little bit. Let's lock that, and then go back to translation. Push ourselves back a little bit. It's going to try to gobble this thing up. Now the camera's now aimed too far in. Okay, we're gonna bump it. That's okay. Let's try to minimize the speed though. Let me pitch down more. This is substantially easier to release than it is to recapture, as it turns out. Let's go a little bit more. Using so much fuel on this. Like your average dock should take like 15 meters per second tops. I've burned like 300 already. I've burned like 100 or like I've burned 80 off this stage, and then I've burned another 200-ish off this. Although granted, a lot of that was spent trying to break solar panels. So, all right. This is good. So now that bottom's in there, I can consider going back to normal. Oh, careful. Don't you dare. No. Follow it, chase it. You get back in here, you son of a bitch. Just go forward, just push up. And then go back to here and turn off, yeah, no, never mind. Keep SAS on. I lied. What I need to do is I need to go back and get this thing a little bit further up. Okay, note to self: future ships don't make them this tight fits. No, god damn it. Nope. Anti-normal. Come on, get back here. I'm gonna time lapse this entire. I'm recording it. I'm just gonna try to cut this part out and time lapse it because man, this is some shit. God, the way it's flipping out is making me worried that there's some physics shit happening that I don't want. Come on, that seems pretty close. Just stop wigging out. That looks like some real physics shenanigans going on. I wonder if I close the bay a little bit. Uh-oh, what? Oh, that was my header. That's a problem. That might be a problem. I might be able to survive that because I have so much excess fuel. The balance on this thing is going to be fucked when I re-enter, but I might be able to handle it. If this thing will just dock, you son of a bitch. Now that I've got it halfway captured, I might be able to just... Come on. Come on. How are you not docking? Can I increase the magnetism on these things? More require force. Here we go. Got it. Okay. Now the problem here is... So that header, that tank, that spherical thing up here that just blew up, that was part of my landing fuel. Now I have so much excess fuel down here that I, like, delta V-wise, I'm fine for landing. But on re-entry, my balance is going to be totally fucked by not having that thing. Well, let's just close everything for starts. So everything fits. It's all hunky-dory there. I lost one solar panel down here, and I lost my header tank. Huh. Okay, let me... I don't know when my last quick save was. And I don't know if it was a hard quick save or a soft quick save that can be overridden. I think, okay, it was, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load this, I'm gonna put down a hard quick save at this old, you know, before I broke that tank, then I'll reload the one I did with the broken tank and I'll try to re-enter. If it works, great. The weight of the ship, of the asteroid ship, might actually be enough to counteract the loss of the fuel tank. So it might actually work better than it would with the fuel tank. But I just want to make sure I have an extra hard save here just so that I have the potential to go back if I fuck something up. So let's put a quick save there. And let's go back and load the previous save. Okay. Now, let's get a re-entry. Ideally as close to the Space Center as possible, although with how dicey this thing has been, I don't know if that's going to be doable, but we will find out. This actually... No, never mind. I was going to say this might be a really good trajectory. It might actually... This might work out shockingly well. If I throw a maneuver node down here, let me turn trajectories on, and let me set my trajectories target to KSC. Descent. These are all prograde, and I want about a 60-degree angle of attack. So, if I were to burn retrograde right now, just a little bit, just to burn off a little bit of extra speed. Oh man, this almost couldn't work better. I'm not gonna have to do a single extra orbit. Just trying to adjust things to get a good inclination so I can actually intercept the Space Center pretty well. Gonna be coming in at a weird angle, but I've done that before and it's totally doable. Doesn't have to be perfectly spot on, especially because if I don't know how much aerodynamics I'm going to have with this weird payload, but you can actually do you can do quite a bit with aerodynamics, just trying to, you know, fine-tune things as you come in. So let's burn this real quick and hope for the best. The closer I get to the Space Center, the more money I get back for the mission. I have so much fuel right now. Got a quick save again, just with that maneuver node. Oh wait, hang on. I forgot to set these ahead of time. Let's get the angles right. I normally use like 140 to start. So got that. I need to get my... Or no, I can leave my sea level engines off for now, because those are only going to be used for landing. So... Okay, that actually didn't change my entry orientation all that much. Alright. Let's time warp to that maneuver. Very slowly for some reason. I should turn my life support stuff off on this inner ship, because once I get into the atmosphere, I have to bring this solar panel in, and while this thing has a lot of power, it also uses a whole lot of power whenever it's not, you know, generating solar. Although, it looks like right now it's actually not using all that much. And I can always turn off the cooling on the tanks if I need to. I might actually want to transfer... Yeah, I'll do that after. Sorry, just thinking to myself. Okay. It should be pretty damn close. Okay, I can live with that. So I'm going to be coming in from a... Well, I should be coming in mostly over the mountain, so at least I'll have a rough idea of, you know, the terrain I'm coming over. So... Now I'm still going to turn that life support off just because there's really no reason to have it. And even though it doesn't use a ton of power, it's more than it needs to. So let's stop all of these. And I think if I stop this one, it hopefully shouldn't break everything. No, I'm worried that it might. Put another quick save down. Just when in doubt, just keep hammering on the quick saves. Just turn that off. Okay, nobody mutinied, so that's good. It shouldn't actually matter if they mutiny because I have probe cores now, so I can just ignore the Kerbals. So if I stop this... Hey, they didn't mutiny. I don't know why. Whatever. Oh, okay, now they did. Well, here, I'll turn your fucking habitat back on. How about that? Now, are you happy? Or are you still gonna be pissy about it? You are still pissy about it. What if I turn this one on? Okay. So apparently you need the bottom one, you don't need the top one. I don't know why. So that's good. I've got my flaps in position. I just got to pull this solar panel in and I should be... And I got to switch the engines. So let's switch to... sea level on, vacuum off. That should be right. Do I want to balance my fuel at all? Probably should. So I want as much up top as possible, probably. So everything go there. So I'm just draining, because I have 3 fuel tanks here. I'm draining the bottom 2 to try to fill up this top one. Or the big one. Because the big one's closer to the center. It's still down a little bit, but we'll see if that's enough to get the center of mass kind of where I want it. I haven't done really extensive testing on the center of mass on this ship to see what keeps it the most stable coming in. But I would assume putting it here-ish. Then with the payload up here is big, but it's also empty of fuel. So it should be relatively light, all things considered. Time warp a bit to get this fuel properly transferred. And having all the fuel up there means I can turn off the cryo cooling on these fuel tanks, which saves me a little bit more power. So now my power draw should be relatively low. 10. So yeah, that's almost nothing. So and now my target is way off course. Did it change my... I don't know why that's so far off course. I didn't change anything. Okay, just gotta aim for a slightly higher angle of attack. It should be fine. So let's just time warp to be closer to re-entry. And then I'll get in the final orientation right while I'm close enough to actually land. So I'll be coming in initially a little bit on the nights, or actually I'll be coming in right at like sunrise. And now it's showing it. Okay, some on my physics calculation here is not right. I wonder if I should try using Smart ASS for this. Every time I try it, it goes horribly, but in theory, it's way more practical. Because I can just set it to surface, ignore heading, pitch 65, roll 0. It should just follow that, and then I just have to tweak these to keep it where I want, you know, just to help out the rest of the ship. Is there a way to make this UI bigger? UI scale 1.5? Oh, that's big. 1.1. Alright, that's better. For this, I got my flap controls. I've got the right input or incoming trajectory. Should have plenty of power. Let's pull this back in. We'll see what happens. I am currently at a 90-degree heading for some reason. What is my is there a way to find my actual heading? If we're coming from... trying to remember if 0 is up or if 0 is down. think zero's up. Yes, it is. So we are currently at a 6-degree inclination, so we want our heading to stay there at around 6. As long as the roll and the pitch stay where I want them to be, I should be okay. Let's fast forward a little bit more. Let me quick save again just to be safe. The nice thing about Smart ASS is it actually maintains throughout quick saves, whereas everything else just goes nuts when you load a save, but Smart ASS keeps its settings. So in theory, should help me maintain what I'm trying to do. Okay, let me go down to 60 degrees. Quick save again, and let's just get to the atmosphere. So what is my actual... Oh, I didn't turn off the, shit. I didn't turn off the engines on the upper stage. Why am I going so fast? I need to come up here. Peek in here and shut off these engines. Because otherwise, the second I throttle up, I am going to be... Actually, it shouldn't do anything because I shouldn't have any fuel for them. But for some reason, it's showing liquid fuel, which is worrying. So let's just shut these down to be safe. Keep hearing some weird noise. I don't know if that's coming from outside or in my apartment. It's probably fine. Save again. That's all. I just keep quick saving. I'm coming from a relatively high trajectory, but this ship should be more than capable of handling it heat-wise. Oh, I might want to go a little bit higher than 60. Right now I'm just bleeding off speed. The sap will have to burn down. The further down the atmosphere I go, the faster that'll bleed off. Let's look at my... Where's my staging thing? Okay, so I'm currently not able to maintain, so I need to go slightly lower on this flap. There we go. just trying to use this pitch indicator here. If the pitch is maxed out in one direction... Oh, what did I just lose? What just blew up? Probably a light. I think. Can't imagine what else it would have been. My engines are all still there. RCS is still all there. No idea what that was. So yeah, my FOFs is coming down pretty quick. Waiting for the camera to swing around so I actually can pay attention to what I'm doing, because this angle is not super useful. I could change it, but it's just a nice indicator of when I'm down low enough and my orbit's suborbital. Let's go to 68 degrees. Currently looks like I'm going to overshoot a lot. Let's go up to 70 degrees. Just try to bleed off as much as we can. Oh yeah, Space Center's right. Is that it right there, or is it around the curve of the planet? Oh, it's still around the curve. Okay, so not as close as it seems like I am. But I'm still going very fast. I'm still pretty high up. I'm actually gaining altitude right now. Slightly. I want to know what blew up. Everything on here looks fine. Got all the landing gear, all the RCS. I've got even both the lights on the back are still there. Oh, that broken solar panel broke out. Okay, so that was... I assume that thing just didn't have heat resistance because it was technically not retracted because it was broken. So that's fine. So I guess I won't find out if that thing gets recovered, money-wise, even though it's broken. Gonna throw another save down, just because I'm worried that I'm gonna overshoot the Space Center by a lot. We'll find out. I feel like I shouldn't. It's still around the curve of the planet, but I'm still high enough up that I'm not really slowing down that fast. Oh, I think I just went suborbital. Okay. Or roughly. There we go. See, my estimated distance to the Space Center is really not going down that fast. Let me pitch up a couple more degrees. Can we go 75? Let's go 75. Now this distance, it's still dropping down pretty slow. I'm trying to get this is my estimated trajectory based on what I'm currently, or based on what my entry plan was. This is where I'm trying to land, and I'm currently doesn't seem like I'm going to make it. We'll find out. Or I will make it. I will make it too far. But I've still got an entire continent to fly over, so hopefully I'll be good. I don't know if it's a center of mass or what, but this thing is ridiculously controllable, or if I'm just going to be using smart ASS instead of doing it all manually like I normally do. Man, I'm just not slowing down. I didn't account for how far up or how much lift I got from that. Like, I skimmed off the top of the atmosphere there. I'm still going up. That's a problem. Let's go up to like fucking 85 degrees. Just try to turn into a windbreak. Also, I have way too much fuel. That's probably part of the problem. The less fuel you have, the easier it is for the atmosphere to slow you down. And I'm coming in with a lot of fuel. I'm also going to overshoot. Let me see if I can add a little bit of roll. Let's do 5 degrees to the right, maybe? Is that the right? Nope. I think that's the wrong way. 5 degrees to your other right. I don't know if that's going to actually push me the way I want. I think it actually will. Let me turn my heading to 90. Will that help? Oh, that's the opposite. I want to go heading to 110, maybe? And roll to 0. Yeah, I'm probably going to overshoot quite a bit. I don't know why it... Like, I had it planned out, and it seemed like it was good, but... That's KSP for you. Okay, so now it's trying to tilt hard into the air to push me this way, hopefully. At least until the entire ship spins around, because it's coming in at a really weird angle. But in theory, I might be pushing myself down a little bit to get closer to the Space Center, at least longitudinally? No, latitudinally, I think. Yeah, I'm going to need to slow down real quick if I'm going to make the Space Center. Like, real quick. Probably going to need to reload a save on this. Not because I can still land this from here, no problem, but it'll land in the middle of the ocean, and that's no fun. I don't want to land in the ocean, I want to land in the Space Center. And I'm currently en route to fly way past it. One thing I could try, and this is a very bad idea, but I could pitch past 90. This is going to go poorly. This is going to probably just end the mission, but otherwise I'm going to fly to the Space Center. But just turn my entire Starship into a wing that's shoving me down. So I'm actually accelerating myself downwards instead of gaining lift. I'm gaining lift, I'm just gaining lift in a negative direction. It's not going to be enough in time, but that is a very dicey way to bring yourself down faster. Not fast enough, though. I'm still too high up in the atmosphere for it to really matter. What I could do, if I want to be really stupid, is just point retrograde and burn. That'll bleed off a little bit more speed. Too much, one might say, but, you know, whatever works. No, not too much. Not even close to enough, as it turns out. Okay, we're going to reload that save just because landing in the middle of nowhere is not fun. So, we'll see if this one is not far enough or not. But I'm basically just going to go in 90 degrees the whole time until I break enough that my my marker comes down where I want it to come down. All right, let's see here. While I'm up this high, I can put my heading up further and bring my pitch up to like 90. This might result in something blowing up, although I already had... Okay, this is already past when that first thing blew up, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's Let's also get these flaps a little bit more open, just a little bit more aerodynamic braking. Let's go top flaps like 130, bottom flaps like 160. It's way higher than I would normally do, but it might help. This might be too late, because this is after I already gained all that that bump. The mods are all the same as I had the last few times I streamed. The only thing I've changed really is that I changed the RCS effects to not be such total garbage. Can't really see them right now, but they are better than they were before. But yeah, scatter. I also bumped up my scatter settings. Keep resetting themselves to low, which is why the shadows keep turning to shit. But I actually remember to turn them up all to max this time, which is Scatterer is like the single thing that changes this game from ugly, like 2011 Unity game to kind of fantastic looking. At times. There's parts of it that look terrible, but stuff like this looks pretty good. I think I'm bleeding off speed faster this time. I think. Let me go pitch up a little bit more. Let's just go straight to 90. I don't want to be gaining any lift right now. The alternative would be to pitch nose down and just try to another way to gain negative lift, but it would be less harmful than flying backwards because it's easier to recover from, technically, in theory. It's probably still not going to be enough. Let's do a little bit of lean back, see if that helps at all. Let's bump up both flaps again. So I'm slowly pulling the trajectory down with my slight angle here, but it's like down inclination wise, but I'm not really doing great altitude wise. I'm gonna overfly it again, but I don't know, we'll see. Problem, that quick save was too late because it was after I gained too much lift, like, cause I was coming down. I was coming down to like 25 kilometers, but at that point my ship was angled such that I gained a bunch of lift, which actually pushed me back up to like whatever I'm at now, like 36, rather than just coming in smoothly at a shallower angle, but at a shallower entry angle in terms of my orbit, but a harsher ship angle that would slow me down better. Definitely better this time than last time. I'm down to like, probably gonna get down to like 100 kilometers, but that's still not nearly as good as I would like. I don't know why this 2 engine is sitting here. What's up with that? Just blocking my view. Yeah, I don't think I'm bleeding off enough speed to make a difference here. Let me just try for fun. Just going full retrograde, burning a little bit, and seeing what happens. Might, I think I'd probably, if I did this 3 minutes ago, it probably would have been fine. I have the fuel for it because this thing is way overloaded, but... Oh, but now I'm actually rolling over, coming in backwards. That's a problem. I'm also not actually coming in over the Space Center. I'm coming in over the hilly area next to the Space Center, which is another problem. If I put these out fully and then try to get back to my trajectory, is there any way this ship is going to be able to do it? Probably not. Coming in like a bullet now. Well, maybe. Okay, now spin it. Spin it around. Nope, too far. Too far. Control yourself. Nope, nope, nope. This is totally as intended. This is totally fine. I really wish I could see how much fuel actually... Okay, 843. So I probably could... I don't know. I probably could still land this if I was in control, but this is not looking particularly in control at the moment. Come on. Come on. Okay, this is too far to control. Let's go back to... I could go back to an earlier quick save and... Do I go to an earlier quick save and try to do it properly, or do I just try... Let me try this one first, because it'll be faster. Go back to this mid one that is already too... It's already after I gained all that lift, and it's really annoying. But if I just do that same, flip retrograde and just burn a little bit, if I do that sooner, it'll put me down in the atmosphere quicker, which will mean I can bleed off speed faster, which means I can probably burn less to get the same effect. Hopefully. We'll find out if that works. So, let us go retrograde. So let me go orbital retrograde. Burn a little bit. Oh, okay. A little bit past. A little bit overshot. That's okay. Okay, now let's go back to this. Let's pull these back. Let's pull those open. See if we can recover from this. I think we should be able to. It's heading up a bit. Okay, now I gotta manage these flaps more because I'm still in a little bit lower of atmosphere, which means these have a much bigger influence. Okay, that is a much closer angle at least. I'm already down to 100 kilometers. That's lower, or that's closer than I was on the previous reentry, and that was when I was right above it, basically. Okay, let's go to 90 now. I think we got the, wait, no, we didn't get that. Why did I think that we got that? I still need to turn my orbit down a lot. In fact, I need to turn it down more. Someone is raiding with a party of 7. I don't know what that means, but hello. Holy shit. That's 17 viewers. And now, the second something happens, my cat shows up and is going to walk in front of the monitor again. That's good. Please move. Sorry. Thank you, Dunbara2. I don't use Twitch that much, so I'm not super familiar, but my viewer count went up a bunch, and that's cool, so thank you. Now you get to watch me horribly fuck this up several more times before I get it right. That's gonna be... It's gonna be kind of tight. We'll see. Okay, I think I can still do it. Let's just bump that pitch up a little bit. Here, I'll give you all the rotations you want. Let's see. So north-south wise, I'm still way off. I gotta figure out how to tweak this properly to get that right. I think ideally I would need to manipulate the flaps separately, but I don't have the ability to do that. It's stock scale, but it's modded all to hell, so the parts are way bigger than stock scale would normally have. But yes, this is not RSS or anything. Current mission is I just recovered some guys from an asteroid mission. I'm trying to land them. We'll see what happens. I know I can land this thing, but I know that I'm on a real bad trajectory right now, so let's see if rolling a bit would help. Yeah, this ship put another ship into orbit. The ship went and intercepted an asteroid, got a sample. That ship came back to Kerbin orbit. Starship got refueled, picked them up, and now is coming back home. And there was a whole bunch of bullshit along the way, but we're just gonna ignore all that and hope that it lands. Let's try rolling the other way. See if... Wait. Other way. I'm not super well versed with smart ASS here, so it doesn't appear to be rolling at all. Whatever. If we have to land on the hills, we have to land on the hills, I guess. Even though this thing is, you know, not ideal for landing on hills, considering it's like huge and super top heavy, but whatever. Should probably prepare to transfer all the fuel into the bottom tanks. I guess I can do that when I land. Let's just get that ready. Thank you for the raid, Dunbaratu. Once I get down into roughly, once I start gliding in, which I can actually probably start doing pretty soon, I might be able to twist this thing to get it a little bit closer to the Space Center. First, I gotta bleed off as much speed as possible, because right now I'm still going a bit too far. As soon as the hypersonic effects go away, that's when I gotta actually start paying a lot more attention. Okay, this is probably enough that I gotta start pitching down a bit. Just a bit. Alright, we're starting to slow down. Let's put this at 0, and let's put this at, or not 0, 90. And let's kill that and start tweaking these manually. Because we need to basically start to glide our way in. Oh, we gotta get nose down a lot faster. Turn trajectories off. I don't need that open. Oh, this is not the way this thing normally behaves. It's the way it's not pitching with my, it's not pitching the way I want it to at all. Pitch down, you fat bitch. Uh-oh. Okay, please, cat, please stop walking in front of me. Please, I know you want attention. I'll play with you after. This is kind of attention requiring. Yeah, the lack of that header tank is fucking me right now. When I was docking, grabbing the ship from orbit, it bumped into my header tank and blew it up in the nose, which is making my center of mass real weird right now. I was hoping the mass of the ship that I docked with would be enough to overcome that, but oh, I might be somewhat bringing it back a little bit, but only a little bit. Uh-oh, uh-oh. No, please, please pitch down. Please pitch down. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about fuel balancing right now. That seems like a let's think about that later sort of thing. On the bright side, I am pitching this thing towards the Space Center reasonably well, which I probably shouldn't be worried. I'd probably be more worried about the fact that I'm probably gonna crash and die. But hey, small victories. Uh-oh, uh-oh, I'm stalling. Yeah, this thing's going down. This thing is that's not good. That's less than ideal. Wait, can I glide in backwards? No, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, I'm going to start speeding up now. Okay, I could probably move oxidizer into... It's probably too late. But if I move my oxidizer into this fuel tank very quickly, and then I enable crossfeed on this docking port very quickly. Come on, docking port. And nope. Okay, crossfeed's apparently off. Or on already, which I don't think it is, which is probably going to be bad. That was apparently not enough. A little bit too little too late. I still have enough fuel to land this, but that's no fun. This is not how this is supposed to land. That's not fun. Well, here, let's see if we have enough. I know we have enough delta or enough thrust to weight, although it's probably a bit late for it. Yeah, probably a bit late for it. Ugh. Okay. I say I have a thrust to weight of like 4, but turns out when you're at 1,000 meters with a thrust to weight of 4, and you're coming in at 300 meters per second, that's not the right speed. Okay, I don't know when this quick save was, but this autosave. If I load that, and the game doesn't crash, which it really feels like it wants to right now. If I transfer that oxidizer sooner, that'll push my center of mass up a little bit, and that might make it easier to control. Might. I don't know if it's actually loading or not. It says it's loading, but I don't... This menu shouldn't be here if it's actually loading. Oh, something's happening. And it loaded back to the Space Center for some reason. That's good. It's not what I wanted. Okay, autosave, load. Because I could not get the nose of that thing. Even with the back flaps all the way open and the front flaps all the way closed, my center of mass was so far back that it just wanted to come in at like 45 degrees, even though at that point I wanted to be coming in almost flat. Because I basically needed to keep my horizontal speed up so I didn't stall out, which is exactly what happened. Which sucks, because I was at that... Using the thrusters to yaw to like fine-tune your incoming velocity is actually pretty functional. It works reasonably well. Which entry is this? This might be the... Okay, this is the wrong... Apparently I don't have a quick save that's very low. Let me go back to this quick save. Try to do this properly. Because if I can get a more accurate initial entry or initial trajectory towards the Space Center, I don't have to fuck with any of this weird heading stuff. I can just come in as standard as possible. And that would probably be better than what I'm doing. So, right now I'm still pretty high up. So if where is my smartass? If I just go retrograde... Actually, let me just turn this off. Let me go retrograde, but a little bit anti-normal of retrograde. That should put me right over the Space Center if I do it right. The problem I experienced is that right here I was starting to get too much lift, and I was going down from a periapsis of like 27 kilometers back up to like 37, and that was just really fucking my re-entry. Just making me overshoot everything. So don't mind this. This is just routine. I don't have my pinned things open. So if I burn a little bit, that should be a bit better. Okay, cut that. Now we got to get back into a proper entry trajectory. Hopefully. I know there's a lot of mods you can install that give you like really finely controlled flap maneuvering, and it makes it super easy to re-enter and land and, you know, have super fine control, but that just feels like cheating. And they move, every mod I've seen just makes them move way too fast, and it looks completely unrealistic, and that's no fun. I wish there was a better way to map them to the pitch controls rather than just doing, because the way that you can currently, I think, doesn't let SAS use them, which sucks. But, I wonder if Smart ASS works with them. I haven't actually tried that before. Okay, so this is actually shouldn't be too bad, because my intended trajectory is way sharper of a aero brake. So I knock this down a little bit. What? Wait, what? What just happened? Oh, it's because this is showing retrograde. What? Oh, goddamn, these mods. Okay, so if I need to aim for like 65-ish degrees. That should get me kind of where I want to go. Approximately. Probably a little bit more, because I'd rather come up a little bit short, because this thing can glide for a while. Actually, well, I'm thinking of it. I need to fix that center of mass as much as I can. So let's move... I can move the oxidizer up. I cannot move the methane up, because the methane is stuck in... Or because the ship up top is just using liquid... Or, the regular liquid fuel, so you can't actually utilize those tanks for methane. Oh, there we go. You can see this thing pitching down a bunch. Okay, so that means it's actually working a bit. So now I can actually, these flaps up front actually have some control authority, finally. Alright, that's fully transferred. Which that's going to make it that much harder to land, because now I have a bunch of weight up front, but whatever. I'll deal with that when I get there. Let me throw it on a quick save while I'm here. Hopefully I won't need it. Still bleeding off a bunch of velocity, because I came in from a very eccentric orbit. I think having that fuel up top should help a fair bit, hopefully. Alright, suborbital. Well, we kind of already were, but we are now more suborbital. Bump up this pitch a little bit more, hopefully bleed off a little more speed. Pop these flaps open. Probably keep track of how much fuel I'm burning to RCS right now, just for future reference. You can see it ticking down. You can't actually see the thrusters firing in here because the effects aren't obnoxious now. But they're almost too not obnoxious. How is our trajectory? Not great. This thing is it's the distinction between too much lift and because you would think that you want to have the biggest body facing the airstream as possible to slow yourself down, but then at the same time, the more you pitch up, the more lift you get up to a point. And it leads to some very hard. It makes it very hard to figure out. You know, you're trying to slow down more, but you're actually you're slowing yourself down more, but you're also gaining lift that is pushing your final landing point further out, even though you're going slower. In theory. Which, if I had this thing designed more appropriately, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to just set everything to, you know, plan on a 70-degree entry, plan everything around that, and just set it so when you re-enter it, you know, so that as long as you hit that trajectory, you land where you want to land. But that's what I thought I did this time, and something about the incoming landing point or the way that this was set up just didn't put me where I planned. It put me, you know, 400 kilometers into the ocean from where I thought I had set it, which is not great. It might be too late to actually properly. We'll see. This mod is very good, but it's not completely accurate either. See if we can't time warp a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't break everything. Still not slowing down very fast. I'm gonna overshoot, but we'll just see if I can recover it after that. Oh, fucking hiccups. Okay, let's go back to regular time warp. I guess let's quick save it, even though this seems like a really bad run, but we'll find out. My screen is glitching out. That's a good sign. Some weird black lines. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, well, I was just in the process of changing my pitch to prevent this from happening, and I guess I was a bit too late on it. Am I still in time warp? Why is this going so... It seems like it's going ridiculously fast. I guess that's just because I'm at 15 kilometers and I'm still going hypersonic. Just burn the engines, just slow me down. Flip. Flip. Oh yeah, this is a fucking rocket into the ground right now. Eh. The engines no, I can't save it. Actually, almost maybe. It still feels like it's moving too fast. Like something about the time warp didn't turn off properly. That actually might have almost survived it. Oh, I'm about to run out of fuel though. Yep. This feels really weird. It feels like it's still time warping, but it shouldn't be. Oh, and there go the engines. Well. Did the crew survive? Yeah, no, I can't tell. Yeah, the crew did survive, but that I don't really consider that a successful landing. Literally only the crew survived. Everything else in there broke. Just the crew compartment survived. I'm not gonna... I don't think we count that. What was this quick save? Okay, so the lesson here is if you blow up your header tank on docking, but okay, just dump me to main menu for some reason. Thanks, KSP. I love it when it just decides that... I don't know if it's that modded save menu or if it's just that sometimes the game... You click on a load save and it's just like, we're going to put you at the Space Center, or we're going to put you at the main menu, or we're just going to crash the game. And there's this fucking thing. Hey, there's the ship. Let's see, how much would I get if I recovered it from there? I got 97% of the distance value, but I got 46,000 funds from a ship that probably cost 2 million to launch. So that's we're not gonna count that one. I think this one is the one where if I had come in at a steeper trajectory, I wouldn't have gained a lift, and that might have kept me on target, I think. Need to run and check something real quick. Be right back. I still have no idea what that weird noise is coming from my kitchen. It's probably fine. It's probably not important. Game definitely seems to be reaching a point where it really needs a reboot, but because it's taking longer and longer to load each time. Okay, let's right off the bat bump that pitch up, because clearly I did not have it high enough last time. I need to, while I'm in the lower atmosphere for here, I need to burn off as much speed as possible so I don't keep going up. It says I'm going to land here, but I guarantee you give it a couple minutes, it'll just decide randomly to change that, and I'll be way further, or it'll put me way further. I can't tell if this is a miscalculation on my part in terms of how much lift I should be getting from the body of this thing, or if it's just KSP's weird aerodynamics not giving me a super accurate, you know, reaction to my actual pitch. Because, like, this target is now way off the Space Center in the other direction, and I don't really know why, because this is the same save I was just loading. Just turn off the heading control there. Yeah, it's saying here, but my... Okay, it's pulling the apoapsis in. That's good. That's something I want to happen. Okay, that's why it was showing me the wrong thing. Cause I had it on. It reset direct. It saved my angles, but it reset the direction of the angle to retrograde instead of prograde for some fucking reason. And it keeps turning off my flaps. Let me leave these open. Okay, so this is kind of what I want here. I want to burn off speed here, and then once I get down to like subsonic speeds, I want to just glide my way forward. So let's just aim for that and hope for the best. Just gonna hold 85 until it tells me I'm good. This part is way easier with Smart ASS than it was previously. Because rather than having to just fiddle with this back and forth constantly with just regular SAS on, here I can just look at this pitch meter, and as soon as this pitch meter starts to pull off in one direction or the other, I just tweak the flaps to keep it near the center, because that means that my ship is not using as much, is not putting as much effort into keeping itself centered. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Oh, the wall of the Starship, which is glowing red hot. That's not worrying at all. How am I looking? Okay, seems like I'm on course. Let me time warp a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't go nuts when I turn it off this time. Also, this broken solar panel's back, so I guess whatever trajectory I took this time made that not a problem. This last time that burnt off. As long as I make it over the mountains, I'm happy. Yeah, I should probably put a nice save down here just to be careful. So not only does gliding give me a better like distance ability to control my distance, it also makes it's way easier to turn the ship when it's down at like 200 meters per second or 250. So I can then just twist it, 5 degrees to the right to the south to get actually onto the Space Center. I think I'll just plan on doing this for future entries, is just hit like 85 degrees where I don't have to worry much about the lift for the early stages. Just plan on that. And then just get me down to the ground, or get down to thick atmosphere, and then I can just glide my way the rest of the way. It seems like a much simpler way of dealing with KSP's weird aerodynamics. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Why are you doing that? Get down here. Stick with 85, but keep these flaps down. Down, flaps. Oh, that might be a bit much. That might be a bit much. Get down here. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe 80 is better than 85, because 85 seems to be a bit much. And I may have just killed myself by having excessive downwards lift there. Uh-oh. Yeah, coming down a bit hard. Coming down a bit hard right now. Let's get these flaps up. Let's get these flaps up. Let's just turn off a Smart ASS right now, because you're gonna fuck me. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. Lesson learned. 85, too much. No big deal. It's only a mistake if you don't learn anything from it. Okay, so let's go down to 80 degrees instead of 85. That should still give me enough leeway to glide, but without horribly losing control. And it didn't help that I tried to adjust it with my overall ship angle and not with my flap angle. Because the flaps are kind of the thing doing the majority of the work here, keeping me on target. so I might still overshoot, but we'll deal with that when we get down there. Look at this little pitch meter down here, and that's basically all I'm using to judge how this thing's doing. As soon as it starts to pitch in one direction, that means that the flaps are getting too much control authority. Also, I need to move this hinge so that it's more towards the center of the flap, because the way that these things are twisting is not particularly conducive to fine control. Same thing, so I'm going to get a whole bunch of lift here. What if I bump this up? Okay, that might be better, rather than going straight to 0. This might actually be too aggressive. Did I transfer the fuel in this save? Yes, I did. Okay. Let me knock this down to like 70 now, because I'm really worried about losing control again. This seems like it's coming in a bit too steep here. Another potential solution to the fuel problem is I could just dump some of it, because I have way too much, and that's part of the reason I'm not slowing down enough. Alright, this is not a good place to land. This is a very not good place to land. Let's turn off Smart ASS and just go back to regular ASS, or regular SAS. I need you to go nose down, please. Would greatly appreciate you going nose down. Now you can see the thrusters firing just barely. I think the effects aren't scaled up with the thrusters the way they should be. This thing is still way too ass heavy. I don't think I'm going to be able to glide nearly as far as I would like to. I am going slow enough that as long as I can keep... it's actually going to be a problem, because I need to be able to go nose down a bit in order to get vertical speed. So let me just dump some of this a little bit. Just dump a little bit of it. And also dump a little bit of this. Not a ton, just as much as I can in the time that I have. If I can get down to 10%, that should be good. That should be a relatively good center of mass. But as good as I can, given the extremely suspect way I'm loading this thing. Okay, okay. This is working. Alright, let's stop dumping. Now that I'm actually getting something approaching aerodynamics. Maybe a bit too much aerodynamics. Please pitch up. Alright, alright. Too much, too much, too much. Come on. God, the center of mass in this thing sucks. It's all over. Like, I can't figure it out. Oh boy, I'm stalling. Come on. Okay, we're just gonna land here if we can. Even although we're now flying backwards, so who knows if that's even possible. I'll just keep gliding as long as I can. What's my actual... Down here looks relatively flat, at least from up here. We are on the, like, the foothills of a mountain, but, I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna start the burn here, because this is not super ideal. Stop overcorrecting so much, ship. Please stop overcorrecting so much. Please stop overcorrecting so much. God damn, you stupid thing. Just give me radial out. That's all I care about. Nope, 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 nope. Not good, not good. Flip maneuver is not meant to work, not meant to give you multiple tries. Oh, god damn it, this thing. This thing is way too fucking sluggish. I can't. Okay. How long ago was this quick save? Or this auto save? I think it was already when I was, like, just about to die. But let's find out. This really was not intended to take this long. But man, center... there needs to be a... There's got to be a mod somewhere that gives you a visible center of mass in flight. So you can actually, like, figure out which center of mass works the best and then just stick with it. Yeah, this is maybe a bit late. You know, what the hell, let's... If we just go full power and just hit retrograde, what happens? This thing does not... Do I even have why are these engines not gimbling at all? Also, why did I just bounce with no damage? Do I just... Like, seriously, are these engines just not gimbling? Is that the problem? It seems like I have zero control authority with the engines. Okay, well, there that thing goes. Okay, we're just gonna hit F9 and see what happens. At some point, I'm just gonna have to take a Starship, like, just do like 100 landings with a Starship with a bunch of different payloads and like fuel configurations and figure out what works, and then just next time, like when I'm not streaming, and then just so I know and just get everything down pat, because man, this is not ideally the way I want to do it. Okay. So 85 was a bit much. In fact, let's just knock it straight down to 70. And while I'm at it, where is... Let me dump some of that fuel ahead of time. That should give me a lot more to play with. Why do these things have fuel in them still? What? I don't know why those things shouldn't have any fuel left. God, methane takes so long to dump. Let me see if I can mod this to change the maximum dump rate for this stuff, because man, cryofuels take forever. If I can just do like 1,000 times, that'd be very useful. I think it's dumping. Okay. I think I have approximately the same amount of oxidizer and fuel now. Let's bring this down to like 60. Or like 50. Don't want to have a repeat of last time and stall out in the mountains. $40. Okay, center mass is still bad. Hopefully it's better. The fact that even with these flaps in the configuration they're currently in, I'm still not able to... Jesus. Still not able to get any sort of glide is a problem. Okay, let's see if I can't just pitch this thing a little bit to the side. Let me turn off Smart ASS at this point. It's a little bit better than last time. Got a little bit further. Again, can't... These engines are not gimbaling. Oh, the gimbals are locked. Well, Jesus Christ. There's part of the problem. There's probably the main problem with that landing last time. I was trying to reorient with solely thrusters in the deepest part of the atmosphere and no engine gimbal. These engines specifically have extra high gimbal so that they're easier to do a landing flip with. Okay, so I gotta remember, set my engine gimbals to the same action group that I set my, like, toggle engine on. Okay, very slowly yawing myself so that I'm facing towards the Space Center. Not that it really matters, because I don't think I'm gonna make it anywhere near that far, not at this pitch. If I was flying pretty much flat right now, I could absolutely make that distance. Last time I streamed one of these landings, it was smooth as hell. I mean, it took a couple tries, but it was fairly smooth. Yeah, the lesson I'm learning from this is that A, I really need a mod that handles center of mass in flight, so I can actually see where it is, relatively speaking. I'm sure it might be like a cheap menu option somewhere, but I'm just not familiar with it. And lesson 2 is that if you blow up the header tank in the nose of the ship before you re-enter, just load the quick save and don't do that. Don't say, maybe it'll be fine, and then try it anyway, because that's a very bad idea, as it turns out. Okay, so I'm not going to make it to the Space Center, but at least this area, these foothills here are, in theory, relatively flat. Let's find out. As long as I can maintain mostly this pitch on the way down, I should be okay, although there's a very good chance I stall out in the process. Because I am fully, like, I have no extra authority on my flaps right now. I'm going to turn off SAS and just try to do this full manual. It's already looking to be a very poor idea. Although if I can pick up a little speed here, I can get closer to the Space Center. And every meter I cover is potentially higher recovery value if, in theory, I survive this. Which I should probably quick save because I'm probably not going to. Alright, let's SAS back on briefly. I'm burning a lot of fuel on RCS right now, and I gotta be careful not to burn too much of it. Put another save down. I forget the exact amount of fuel I need to land. I want to say that technically it's like 400 to 500 meters, or 400 to 500 meters per second in delta V, but realistically it's probably more like 6. I'm already getting like I can already see the trees, so I'm gonna have to do the flips soonish. Okay, let's just keep this trajectory. This area looks reasonably good for landing. I didn't want to do it yet. It's still pretty high up, but I guess we'll just do it and see what happens. Oh, overcorrect. Come on, get back down. I don't want to start boosting backwards. Oh god, Come on. Tilt. Oh, come on. Slow down. Cut the engines, just cut it. Oh, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna tilt. Come on. Can I use the flap to hold myself up? Nope. Try number 2. I have a bunch of quick saves on the way down, so I can try this again with relatively little issue. Where's my landing marker? Wait. Nope. Okay. That one was just on me. That wasn't any problem with the ship design. That was just me fucking up the landing. I mean, no problem with ship design other than the fact that the center mass is fucked, and it's like the thrusters are even less useful than they should be, but that's mostly on me. I really should bump the gimbals up on these engines, because previous attempts I had them at 10 degrees. This time I moved them down to 6, which is, I think the real Starship's something around 8. Okay. It's fine though, we're right here. Okay, we can kill this stuff, get it out of the way. It's like on top of just the recovery percentage you get from landing in near the space center. Landing in that area is so nice because it's so flat. No hills whatsoever. Let me actually knock this down. Oh, stop tilting, stop tilting. Stop tilting, stop turning. No, you're stalling out, you're stalling out. Nose down, please. Nose down, please. Okay, we're just gonna try a very sloppy flip here, which is not gonna go well. Just get close to the retrograde marker and burn. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Gimbal. Gimbal. Where's the gimbal? Okay, 6 degrees, not enough gimbal. Can confirm that. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta keep the nose down long. I feel like I learned this lesson every single time I try to land one of these things. Keep the nose down as long as possible. Keep your speed up relatively high, because once you start stalling out, you're done. Like if you start flat spin, there's basically no way to recover from it, because even with really high engine gimbals, you can't cancel out that rotational velocity that low in the atmosphere without really fine flap control, which I don't have. But if you keep your nose down, you keep your horizontal velocity up reasonably well, then when you do the flip and you fold the flaps in, your ass will naturally go pointing towards the direction of movement, and it'll be a lot more possible to, because then you can just use your engines to actually directly cancel out the horizontal and then just slowly bring yourself into a steady landing. So if I can just keep myself at like 0 degrees or lower, that should be reasonably good. And I'm going to have to touch the back flaps after all. This might be a bit much. This might be a bit much. Why is it reacting like this? What the hell is going on? What the fuck are these aerodynamics right now? Hello, Skate Off. You're witnessing some real high quality gameplay right now. Let's just try a real iffy flip. Nope, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That was like I'm not trying to blame the game because it's it's like 60% in my flying and 40% in my design, but some of the ways that like there's a lot of times you can feel it and it's like, oh, I fucked that up. I overshot on the flap angle or something. But like that time when the ship just weirdly cartwheeled like that, that did not feel right. I don't know if that was weird aerodynamics or the size of the ship is screwing with the physics engine or something. Or it was just me fucking up. Also, where are my flap actuators? There they are. They were just inside the flap, I guess, for a minute there. So lessons here. Make sure that the motor or the hinges for the flaps are centered properly so you have way more control over them. Make sure the center of gravity is taken care of. Make sure that your gimbals are on. Okay, let's get this nose down. Going a bit too hard here. Oh, starting to spin sideways. Okay, let's see. Before it gets too bad, let's just try. This is too high for the flip, but I should have plenty of fuel to make it work. That's a bit hard. That's a bit much. This is where that higher engine gimbal would be very useful. Okay, this looks reasonably flat. Coming in reasonably straight. If it stops overcorrecting like that, at least, I should be okay. I have enough fuel. Okay, stay put. Please stay put. Okay, where's my fuel balancer? Everything to the bottom tank. Everything to the bottom tank. Which one's the bottom tank? Let's put all the weight down at the bottom. Okay, thrusters off. These legs sometimes cause issues because they try to overcompensate for roll. But I think I'm steady. Okay. Think this one is technically a success, and that's pretty close to the Space Center. How far were we? Okay, I guess we can't check there. I don't actually know how to check that easily. Just wait, if I do 18 kilometers, I can live with that. So, recover. I lost one solar panel, I lost the header tank, and I lost the two solar panels on the inner stage because I physically had to break them off to make it fit. But I landed that. That was a nightmare. Aerodynamics on this ship is just a real pain in the ass. Okay, please tell me everything recovered properly. I know the contract's not going to complete, even though I streamed myself getting the sample from the asteroid. I have the sample right here, so the game knows I was docked to the asteroid, but the contract was to be connected to an asteroid, and it says it didn't complete it, even though I was there for like 3 weeks, so I'm going to have to manually unlock those. 700,000 does not seem like that much of a recovery for how much that ship costs. So yeah, that's... So I went into that mission with like 7 million, and I now have way less than that. What? I wanted to check that solar panel, see if it counted as full or half or none. Well, they gave me money back for the solar panels on the interstage, even though I deliberately broke those off. So I guess that's a good sign. I don't see him on here, but I'll just assume I got money back for him. Okay, so now let me manually unlock those contracts, which I did complete, but the game doesn't like it the way that I did it, so it didn't even give me the one for taking a tourist to orbit. That's... I definitely did that. Okay, so I got my money roughly back to where it was, but I want to see how much that stage costs, because that did not seem like a 97% recovery, because I'm pretty sure that stage costs like over $1 million. I just load that exact same ship. This one, I believe. Yes. So that whole thing was 1.6. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different ship then. Maybe I'm thinking of the bigger one. So without this. Okay, so it's 825,000, and I got 700 and something back. So okay, that's not too bad. That means that mission costs like 40,000, which is not terrible. And there were some broken parts, so I can't really blame it too much. It's still weird that I went into that mission and came out with basically the same amount of money. And granted, the contracts I had weren't hugely profitable, but they were more profitable than not at all. I'm trying to think where I lost that money from. It's weird. Also, this leg is miserable. There's some way to turn scatter off when you're in the map menu or something, because it seemed like it was causing problems very early on. And it changed the preset back down. What? Or did it? Huh, weird. I've got to see if there's some trick to get my frame rate back, because it's very painfully bad. I don't even know what this does. That might potentially be impacting some of my frame rate. Although if it's completed, okay, it still counts as taking data, so. Yeah, there's something in here that's hitting my frame rate way harder than, like, KSP is not a well-optimized game, but specifically in the atmosphere. I don't know if it's because I'm using, like, weirdly scaled, like, huge ships, and that's affecting the aerodynamic quality. I wonder if there's a... I really wish there were more settings in here just to show what's causing certain things. Like I can look at the frame rate, but I wish I saw, like, okay, it's taking this many milliseconds on aerodynamic simulation, this many on physics simulation, this many on graphics. But I don't know that there's anything like that. Anyway, I think I'm done for the night. Thank you for watching. That was a whole clusterfuck of a thing. I'll try to sort some of that weirdness out before next time I stream. Hopefully I can make it a little bit smoother. I love doing the Starship landings, and I think they're really cool when they work. Here, let me just for satisfaction's sake, I'm just going to play the last time that I landed, because the last time I landed was so smooth, and it was basically perfect. Where do I have it saved? Is it... I'm afraid of hitting the wrong button here. Where are my thumbnails? There, here. Just watch how clean this is. Look how perfect this is. Almost, it does overshoot on the flip, but it's very nice. Almost the exact same ship, just slightly shorter. I mean, that might have something to do with it, but I'm not sure. Shouldn't change things that much. And this is coming in from a like polar orbit, too, or like a 60-degree orbit, too. Look how stable it is. Nice, you know, under 200 meters per second. Piece of cake. Before I fix those RCS plumes, you can see why I needed to fix them, because they look terrible. Overshoot a little bit on there, then... Look at how clean that is. It's doable. You can do it. It's just a huge pain in the ass. And if I can get both the ship design up and my personal skill with it up, it'd be very nice just to be able to do that consistently with little to no effort. But that'll be for another time. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.